Hello everyone, this is just a quick note to say I'm very sorry for the amount of long pauses and the amount of big breaths that I take throughout this video. Basically my asthma was really playing up that day and I have no idea why, but basically I was trying to get enough air in my system to finish off sentences. I've tried to cut out many of the pauses to make the video flow better, but some of them just didn't really sit right with me, so there's a few there I've left in, you're just gonna have to deal with them. I'm very sorry. Anyway, on to the review. Good luck, have fun, don't die. It's directed by Gore Verbinski and it stars Sam Rockwell. And in this brand new sci-fi, whatever genre this was meant to be movie, a man claiming to be from the future takes the patrons of an iconic LA diner hostage in search of unlikely recruits in a quest to save the world. Now, I managed to see this a few days early in the UK because my local cinema was doing a secret screening. I thought, you know what, I've always wanted to go to one of these. Why not? Let's go to it. And at first I thought it was going to be Scream 7. And I was like, okay. But then it was Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And I was really excited. I am a big fan of Gore Verbinski's work. If you don't know who he is, he did the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Rango, the American Ring movie. He also did The Cure for Wellness and The Lone Ranger, but we don't talk about them. But overall, he's a really great director. And this is his first movie in quite a few years. So I was, of course, very excited to see what he had in store. And I am so happy to say that Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is my favourite film of 2026 so far. This is also probably the most important movie of this year as well. And I'll get into one of my reasons later on. But the first reason is because this movie is so relevant to today's society that I really hope people pay attention to what it's saying. In a nutshell, this movie is critiquing every bit of technology. Social media, phone addiction, companies adding adverts in the most weirdest places, AI, the fact that we've become so desensitized to violence in the media that it never bothers us anymore. And even though this movie is very wacky in many places, in fact throughout the entire thing, it also feels scarily realistic because there are times where we're not far off from becoming people like that. For example, one of the main threats of this movie are teenagers glued to their phones and they're walking around like zombies. And we've all heard people say, oh, teenagers nowadays glued to their phone walking around aimlessly like zombies. Well, the villain of this movie is exactly that. And the film is also very funny when it comes to really dark topics. For example, there are a load of school shooting jokes in this movie, and they are somehow hilarious. And I think the reason why those jokes work is because the reactions of the characters to stuff like that is so unnerving and not realistic whatsoever. But at the same time, it kind of makes a lot of sense. Because as I said earlier, desensitized to violence through the media. But even though this movie is demonizing a lot of things about technology and how we handle it, it's also not like boomer porn, as I like to call it, where it's like, ugh, every bit of technology is bad, phone, social media, boo, all bad, teenagers' brains rotting, they're crap now, they're cowards. It's not like that, because there are times where it praises technology, and it makes you understand, like, yeah, sometimes technology, and this part of it, is really great. But the way that we use it is really bad for us, and it will affect us in the future. And I've got to say, the Gore Verbinski weirdness is on full display here. When Gore Verbinski is allowed to get weird and wacky, trust me, he will get weird and wacky. He had no strings attached. But again, the weirdness makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Now let's talk about the characters, because I really love the characters in this movie. It does that thing that it did in Weapons, where it designates a small slot of the movie to explain someone's backstory, and they all really work. Every single character in this small group is really engaging. And even though some people don't really get a flashback or a full segment dedicated to them, they at least still have a lot of personality and a small character arc to make you like them a little bit more. And I also like that this movie told you from the start that no one is safe. Nobody is safe. Anyone can die. Everyone is pretty much expendable. And it just added a lot of tension to the movie. My favourite character was easily Ingrid, and I'm not going to explain why because it will involve major spoilers. But she has a massive part to play in this movie, and I really love where they took her character, especially in the third act, which, by the way, I absolutely loved the third act and the ending of this movie. Weirdly enough, I'll tell you what film it reminded me of. And if you've seen the film, just hear me out. It reminded me of the ending of One Battle After Another. And if you've seen the film, you could maybe see where I'm coming from. It kind of has similar themes to it. That's what I'll say. But what I will say about the ending is that it's definitely going to be make or break for some people, because I've seen a lot of people saying they enjoyed the movie, but it lost them in the final 5 minutes. And I can understand where you're coming from. I mean, I really liked the movie. I really liked the ending. I thought it was really, really solid. But I can totally understand why it may not have worked for some people. And technically, I think this film was very, very solid. It's a really well shot movie. Plenty of personality, plenty of colour in there. And I like the way that Gore Verbinski shot a load of scope throughout this movie. Even though, for the most part, the scope of this movie is quite small and self-contained. I think the editing was really, really good. And it helped make this film feel like an hour and a half instead of 2 hours. And the music in this movie was an absolute bop. Good luck. Have fun. Don't die. Really, really catchy. However, if I'm going to get into one flaw, I do think the CGI at many points was really, really bad, especially in that final act. Maybe it was intentional, but for me, it just didn't work. And finally, the acting in this movie was so good. I'm a massive Sam Rockwell fan. I think he's a fantastic actor. He's been in a lot of great movies, and even in bad movies, he's always the best part of them. He is so good here, so expressive, so wacky. He does not hold back. He is going 110%. Haley Lou Richardson, though, who I don't recognise from anything. She plays Ingrid, my favourite character here. She was so good in this film as well. So overall, good luck, have fun, don't die is a brilliant movie that critiques the hell out of technology and our usage of it. It never fully demonises it, but it's not really praising it either. It does showcase in a wacky way, but also kind of a realistic way, how bad technology can get for us. And I think it's a really, really fitting movie for the time that we're in right now, where everyone is so addicted to their phones and AI is all out there now and everything. You know, it's a weird landscape for technology. And I just think we needed a film like this just to set our minds right with it. And the other reason why I think this movie is very important is because it's an original idea from a well-respected director. I won't say like an A-list director, but really well-respected in the space. And it's going out there in cinemas, getting a full theatrical release, and it needs to do well. If this film does really, really well, it will show Hollywood that we want more original ideas and we can get more creatives out there to create their vision and get it released in cinemas more. It did it with Iron Lung. It can do it again after this movie. So please support this movie. It deserves your time and money. I had a great time with Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And it's going to receive a 9.5 out of 10 from me. And there we go, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this review. As I said, please go and see this movie. Please give it your support. It really deserves it. I saw it in a packed screening and it was so good. We were laughing. We were shocked all the time. But if you have already seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, do let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day and see you later.